Okay, guys, this is a shorter chapter. We already talked about most of it last week, so we're going to finish it up today. So let's take a look at page 191. How can regular people take part in their local government? Now, I showed you two video clips in the previous lesson about people taking part in a city council meeting, and there's a couple ways that regular people can get involved. One way is you can vote. You can vote for city council members who have a similar point of view as you do, and they are most likely going to vote and make decisions the same way or in a similar manner as you would. You can talk to your city council member, so you can send them a letter, you can send them an email, and tell them about your concerns you may have. You also can attend a city council meeting. And we saw in those video clips that were included with the previous worksheet that pretty much anybody is allowed to go to these meetings, and sometimes they can be a little bit off the wall, but every citizen is given a chance to speak at these meetings. Okay. So they can explain why they think a new law should be passed or why they think that new law shouldn't be passed. Only the city council members vote, but if a bunch of people show up at a city council meeting and give their opinion, they might be able to change a city council member's decision and sway them into voting a different direction. You can also sign petitions. And a petition is a document that you sign saying you support something. Now, there's a couple different kinds of petitions. There's legal petitions, and then there is informal petitions. So some petitions, like initiatives, referendums, and recalls, have legal power, where something has to be done if they're signed, but others are informal, and they don't have legal power, but they can be persuasive. If a bunch of people showed up trying to get the city council members to fix the potholes in the road, and they have 10,000 signatures on their petition, it would be foolish for the city council members to ignore that petition, because those 10,000 people will most likely remember that when they vote. Okay, so large cities in our country often have problems, and the bigger the city is, sometimes the more difficult it is to deal with the problems. In Los Angeles, years ago, the air was so dirty that it was dangerous to be outside and breathe. On the worst days, recess was getting canceled for kids because there was so much pollution and smog in the air. Some of the reasons why the pollution was so bad is there was tons of cars, and Los Angeles is very, very densely populated. They also have factories that are putting out tons of pollution into the air. In Los Angeles in 1989, there was 222 days where the air quality was poor and it was dangerous to breathe. So imagine that. That's most of the year where it was unsafe for people to be outside and just breathe. So people wanted to figure out a way to make it better. The first steps were trying to figure out what things the regular citizens could do to improve the situation. So one of the things they suggested is changing the chemicals that different people and regular citizens can use to clean, to strip paint off of walls. So in California, they set up these rules about what chemicals you can use and what chemicals you can't use. They also wanted to build the factories closer to where people lived, so they wouldn't be driving as far, stuck in traffic with their car, putting out tons of pollution. They wanted people to carpool, and they also wanted to make cars more efficient that used less gasoline and use cleaner gasoline in California. So all of these steps will make the pollution better, but they were going to be costly. Making new cars that are more efficient, they're going to cost more money. People are going to have to change the products they use to clean their houses and to do their businesses. And a lot of these chemicals that are safe for California are more expensive than the regular ones that most people use. So all of these companies don't want to do this because it's going to cost more money, but the air is polluted. So they have a decision to make. Is the money more important than the people's health? So eventually the people were able to convince the Los Angeles government to get involved and clean up all of these pollutants. They were able to pass the laws about making the cars cleaner, the cleaner gasoline, and the cleaner chemicals. And in 1997, about 10 years later, the number of days where the air was bad dropped from 222 to 63. Okay, I know that was a short lesson, so I need you guys to open up Google Classroom and work on Chapter 15, Lesson 2.